Welcome to Runako Universe. I know everything, you know nothing. Yes, beautiful people, once again, I am Runako, comedian based in Japan and also a natural born genius. I know everything and you don't even know that female lobsters carry around the male sperm and decide when they want to get pregnant. And the danger of you not knowing this is if you become a rich person, a rich man, or a basketball star, you don't know that you need to be careful if you hook up with a lobster to make sure to either use a rubber and keep the rubber for yourself or pour some bleach down inside that because you don't want to end up being a lobster baby daddy. But that's why I'm here. That's why this podcast is here, so that I can share my wealth of knowledge, all of my information, everything from etiquette to social news and global issues. That's what the podcast is all about. Yes, today it is episode number 10. Episode number 10. I've been really just hibernating inside because Tokyo has been just cold and uncomfortable, but I'm still here for you guys because you have a lot to learn. First of all, right out the gate, let's make some noise for episode 10. Boop, 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 boop. Episode 10 might seem like a low figure for a lot of people, but when you have this amount of knowledge in your head, it gets real easy to get distracted by every and anything. So focus is not your strong point. So we hit 10 episodes. The next goal we're going to is 25. And then after 25, we're going to another number that seems like a similar pattern. I'm not good at math, so I can't figure it out. Okay, but let's just get right into it. First thing is, once again, I'm sorry. This is the third episode in a row, but we're back talking planes again. We're back talking about planes. This time, we're not talking about planes crashing. We're talking about people dying on planes, but not in a crash. So quite recently on a Qatar Airlines flight, this woman died, and they decided to put her dead body next to a couple that was still alive, mind you. So the woman died, whatever's going on with her, and they try to move her body, but she's so fat that they can't move it all the way to where they want to put it. So they end up just giving up and putting it next to these people. Now these people out and they having a press conference and they were so traumatized. And here's the deal. First of all, I got to say something about the moving of the body and not being able to move it. I believe that fat phobia is a thing. As someone who has been overweight his whole life, I'm not super big, but I know that it's tough in society. And I believe that we should treat fat people equally on the ground. On the ground, we should treat fat people equally. But when we get to on the ocean, when we get to regions that we weren't built to be in, I think it's time for some prejudice. I think it's time to really consider how much space you're taking up on this plane. What happens if you die? Can we move your body? You gotta pay extra for your ticket so we can have a little trolley if you die on the plane because you're up on the plane. My ankle's swelling, your ankle's swelling. You came on the plane with your ankles swollen. So I believe it's time for us to, in the air and on the sea, for the safety and comfort of all involved. If you're a bigger person, you gotta cough it up, my friend. And you know what? If you're anorexic or bulimic and you come on extra skinny, discount for you. Discount for you because you're not taking up so much space. And I'm saying, I love my big people, I love my full-figured people, but let's try to keep society fair, you know? On land, it's all good. But once we get up in the birds area or we in the fish area, you gotta start paying for the inconvenience and the safety of others. And also to the couple that had to sit next to the dead body, they talking about how traumatized they was. Grow up. Like, imagine if they were cool about this, how good of a Weekend at Bernie's situation you could have had. You have a whole puppet next to you that you can make him do anything. You can be like, hey, look outside the plane. So many cool selfies could have been taken, but instead they decided they wanted to weep and complain about it. It was really disappointing to see that that's the direction that they chose to take that in. There's so much more they could have really done with that. If it was me, all I want to know for sure is that I'm getting the dead body's Biscoff cookie. Like, don't make me sit next to a dead body with my girl and then we only getting 2 drinks or we only getting 2 snacks. I want the dead body's portion too. If that person had a kosher meal, that whitefish is mine now. It's we in a row together. All three people in the row gotta get. If they were ordering Pepsi before, I want that person's Pepsi. That's my only request. But other than that, we could have really turned it into a bowling kind of cool incident, and they let it become something that it didn't need to be. I don't know. I guess everyone doesn't have as much knowledge as I do, so they don't really see the opportunities, and instead they just see the trouble. I think we're gonna go straight today into the. You know what? I was gonna go to the media corner, but let's pause on that. There's something bigger that I probably need to talk about. I was avoiding talking about it for a bit, but let's talk about we come back to the comments thing that I talked about, the social media etiquette. If you start writing a response or a comment of some sort to something that you saw on the internet, and you realize you're in paragraph 2, delete your comment and go make your own video. Delete your comment and go make your own social media post. You have a lot to say. Let's go see if people are interested in what you want to say. And most likely ain't nobody want to hear it. That's why you here forcing me to say. I came in these comments for a little want to laugh, or a little quick repartee, a little quick a little bit on guard. That's the level of interaction that people need to be having in the comments. If you decide in the process of writing your comment that you have a lot to say on this topic, get out that person's fucking comments and go make your own post. This is not your post. It's not your page. Ain't nobody want to hear all that shit. It's too much. It's too much. And if you don't know, by the way, the reason I see all these posts, because it's the thing that I hate the most and I spend the most time reading because I get angry. And Instagram has figured out, like, if you don't like a particular type of comment, because it's more likely to make you click on the profile to see what kind of asshole wrote this, that's the comment that they're gonna show you. So be aware that they're pulling you into the anger loop. Don't be like me. Don't let yourself get triggered. Don't let yourself fall for the trap every time, because I'm aware of the trap and I still fall into it every time. Instagram shows me the most racist, the most stupid comments as soon as I log in. It doesn't matter the chronology when the comments came in, and that's intentionally to keep me on that post longer. But once again, all I'm asking, be whatever ism you gotta be. I can't control that. But let's keep the comments down to a comment level. A comment should be at max a 3-line paragraph. And if you go over that, it's time for you to make your own post. Understand and respect it. All right, now we can move to the media corner. Today's media corner is a bit sad. Let's bring it down. Let's bring the mood down a bit. I don't have background music, but if I did this, maybe would bring it down. Let's bring it down a bit, and let's keep it down here. Let's have a moment of reflection for, let me get her name, Michelle Trachtenberg. Michelle Trachtenberg, rest in peace. So Michelle Trachtenberg was a young actress. She's 39 years old, way too young to have passed, and a lot of media reporting that she passed, and they're writing her main credit, as she was the little sister on Buffy. But if you're a millennial, much more importantly than Buffy, she was Harriet from Harriet the Spy, the little girl in the yellow raincoat. And it's a big loss. It's a really a big loss for the community of people who were too lazy to pick up the remote and change the channel, so they watch these movies over and over. There's a list of these movies with young girls in it that I watched so many times as a young boy, not because I was interested in the movie or interested in the girls, just because I was too lazy to change the channel. And those include Harriet the Spy, Matilda, Fly Away Home. That's the one where they got to teach all the geese to fly. And what's the last one? My Girl. I've seen her crying about them glasses way too many times. And I don't know how all these actresses doing. The only one I know about really is the one from My Girl, because she went on to be on Veep. She went on to be on Veep, and she was also on, hold on, I have the list here. She was the weird reporter chick on Inventing Anna. So you know what? Big up to you, my friend. Big up to you, my girl. Rest in peace to Harriet the Spy. They didn't say how she passed, but it's Hollywood. She was a child actress. We can put two and two together, most likely, right? But no judgment, no judgment. Everybody does what they need to do to get by. Let's give these young child actresses, let's check in on them every now and then. Where's the girl from that geese story? You know, is she doing all right? Is she still flying with ducks and geese and water birds? Let's find out about her. Veep girl is good. My girl is good. Macaulay Culkin not so good, but his brother's doing well. And you know, let's check in every now and then. These people entertained us in our youth. Every now and then, let's make sure they're doing all right. Make sure there's no fentanyl in their coke. If you're selling a former child star coke, let's make sure there's no fent in it. That's and that's on respect. And that's on respect. Period. Pooh. It's a horrible time to laugh. Really, really, it's tragic that, oh God, I'm laughing. I'm stuck in a laugh loop now. Really, it is tragic that this young actress passed. And we do, as a society, need to take care of the people who entertained us when they were children and whatever mental scars they have carried from being in that space. And let's move on. Okay, as usual, we end this show with a question from one of our listeners. As you know, I know everything, and you dummies, you know nothing, so I have to give you as much advice as I can. Be sure to send your questions to me on Instagram. You can DM me at Runako Universe, or you can email me at runakouniverse@gmail.com. Let's go to today's question. Today's question comes from Bridget. Bridget says, how do I get motivated to leave the house during winter? I barely get motivated enough to get showered and clean, and by the time I'm done doing this, I'm back in bed again. Bridget, I too have experienced exactly what you're talking about. Honestly, my last week was quite like that. And what I'll say is, the mistake you're making is trying. You're one of two type of people in this world. You're one of the people who gonna end up on my 800-pound life, or you're not. That's two different. Putting yourself into a situation where you have bed sores is a very specific type of person, and you either got it in you or you don't. You either got that stay in bed dog in you, or you don't got that stay in bed dog in you. And the quickest way to find that out is to stop trying. So you're waking up and you're not feeling it fully, and you're trying to push yourself. Why not stay in bed? Just stay in bed. Stop trying to clean your house. Just order Uber Eats until you're in debt. Eat cup ramen and leave the nasty soup right next to your bed. Don't wash your parts. And eventually, that downstairs smell is going to hit you. Eventually, you're going to start scratching yourself, and your fingernails going to come back with a lot of skin under it. Eventually, you're going to have insects in your house that you didn't have before, and that's when you're going to know what you're made of as a person. Can I keep living in this filth, or am I going to get up? Am I going to wash my ass? Am I going to leave this house because the entire house smells like ass? I've washed my ass, but the ass is chasing me. The ass smell is coming after me. But can you become the person who lives in that? And if you can, well, you might as well just keep doing it. You know, I mean, if you could afford to do that, why bother with the whole society thing? If I could just be gross and live in my bed and become just larger and larger, eventually society would have to take care of me anyway. I'd just give up on it. But I have found that that's just not who I am. You need to do a little bit of soul searching and find out if you need to be the kind of person that they'd need to remove a wall if you needed to move homes. And if you're not that kind of person, the other problem you have is going to sort itself right out. And that's all the advice I have for you guys. This has been Runako Universe episode 10. One more time. Boop, boop, boop. We'll see you again for episode 11 and going on once a week every Friday at 7:30 p.m. I try to premiere these on schedule, but I can't promise the time, but it's always going to be on Fridays in the evening. Thank you for anyone who's watched any of these episodes. Please keep watching. I'm going to start pushing this more. I've not really pushed the full episodes, just the clips, but I'm going to start pushing the full episodes now that we're at 10, and I feel like I'm really in a groove of making them. So I'll see you guys here every Friday. This has been Runako Universe. I know everything, you know nothing, and we're out. Peace.